Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm talking about Mars conjunct to Chiron in Synastry. So this aspect is very interesting because there is a lot of physical sexual attraction in kind of a mystical way. So our Chiron in our natal chart is the point of our wound and healing. So for, most of our life, if we do not make our Chiron conscious to us, it's this energy of like ouch, and it's like an insecurity, it's pain, it's a wound. But when we do make it conscious and we kind of like activate our healer abilities, we end up expressing this Chiron in a really like refined, pure way. So the qualities of that sign, it's like there really is this opportunity to like express it in such a beautiful way. And then Mars is a very different energy than Chiron. Mars is our get up and go and like how we go after what we want. It's our like most fiery masculine energy. It's very primal. It's our desire for sex in a more like conquering way, in a more masculine way, right? Venus sex is like the attraction and like the more feminine sensuality, but then Mars is like the go and get it, right? So when we have Mars conjunct Chiron in Synastry, the Mars person can really be attracted to the Chiron person in like a way that they see them as like this almost like an object to conquer. Like there's like they can really want them, but then at the same time, there's something about this Chiron person that they just can't put their finger on at times. And then the Chiron person can be really attracted to the Mars person because they see in them such a leadership, such a like powerful masculinity and like attractiveness. And it's yeah, they can be very sexy, but then the Chiron person can also feel like the Mars person is maybe a bit pushy, or like if they're not totally conscious of their Chiron wound. So you want to look at the house placement and the sign of the natal Chiron and the Mars. That wound is going to be really triggered by this person. And it's not like Mars is a very not subtle energy. So the Chiron person can feel poked and pushed, and even in some cases like downright violated by that Mars energy because it's very aggressive in a way. So the Chiron person can feel, even in some cases, like there can be an energy of like rape or like a violation of their boundary, because Chiron is where we're really sensitive and wounded, and the Mars person is just like attacking. And the Mars person doesn't realize that they're doing this. They don't realize that they're being so aggressive because it's just so instinctual for them, right? It's so primal. We're not necessarily conscious of our Mars or our first house like impulse, And so there can definitely be hurt feelings with this contact. Usually the Chiron person being, yeah, just a bit off put by sometimes the Mars person's energy. But at the same time, the Mars person can feel deeply insecure of their Mars in the presence of the Chiron person. They can feel kind of like impotent or like unable to get them. It's like there's something about the Chiron person they want to get, they want to have it, but it's like constantly out of reach or something. And it can be very attractive, that kind of like attraction to something that is like just beyond reach. And Mars can really like that because Mars likes the hunt. Mars wants to conquer Chiron, but Mars can also feel very off put or very like sexually frustrated with the Chiron person. And not that the Chiron person is not attracted to Mars or anything, because usually they really are, but it's just that the way that Mars is like constantly pushing them in this sore spot, it can appear that the Chiron person is not attracted or is even in some cases rejecting the Mars, and the Mars can get even furious at that. So this aspect in some cases could show up as violence. It could show up as Um, yeah, like I said, like just sexually someone's not there and someone wants it, and that's sexual frustration, right? And that can go back and forth between each of them. It's not always Mars that's the one being frustrated. Sometimes the Chiron is going to be frustrated because Chiron is like the wound, right? It's like the wound that needs healing. So it can be hard to feel like we've really manifested that sign, like that energy with our Chiron, right? So this can show up as frustration too on the part of the Chiron. But yeah, the Mars person can feel deeply inadequate or insecure around the Chiron person, or very misunderstood, like that their masculine energy, their ego, which the Mars is like a very primal version of our ego, is like not understood or not seen by the Chiron person, or that the Chiron person is too like deep and spiritual to like really get them. They can actually see the Chiron person as kind of like a mentor or kind of like a healer to them, but at the same time they can feel like their more base or more like primal instincts are kind of like rejected, like they're coming up against a brick wall with the Chiron at times. So you have to look at the sign, and like that this is happening in the conjunction, because that's like the thread of healing that can really happen here. Now it's going to manifest differently in each of the different signs or in different houses, right? But the thread here, or the theme, is I would say sexual healing, because there really is this potential for like an opening here, and there really is a lot of attraction and a lot of healing energy being circulated, in the sexual way, and also in like making the Mars person more effective as a man, or like, and when I say as a man, I mean like if the woman's Mars, it's her inner man, it's her inner masculine. Like I believe we all have inner masculine and feminine, right? Shown by Venus, Mars, Sun, Moon, right? So in this case, it's like the Mars person, that could be male or female, is like really getting some healing around, yeah, what it means to be a man, what it means to be powerful, what it means to be like, Mars is really about like feeling capable, feeling like we can do it, whatever it is, right? Especially physically. So the Mars person is really getting a chance, and like if the Chiron person is kind of evolved and like more in a healed place, they can really be like a mentor, or like help the Mars person be more conscious of their energy, be more effective, be more powerful, feel more like, potent, in their energy. And that can be really helpful. So the Mars person can really like be healed, especially if their Mars is kind of like natally hurting or whatever. This can be an opportunity for that. Now that's the positive side, but if it's on the negative side, it can actually increase the Mars's insecurity and like decrease effectiveness. So it's like with the conjunction, you can kind of go either way. You never really know if it's going to manifest in like the highest way, or if it's going to manifest in the lowest way. And then the Chiron person is really getting an opportunity for deep healing of their wound as well, as shown by their Chiron, because this Mars person is so, like I said, unsubtle in the expression of that sign. And, that actually can be really healing for the Chiron person, to see someone being so authentic in that energy that is so hard for them to be, right? To see someone just really excelling and being powerful and being strong and sexual in that Chiron energy. It can be like, it can be sexy to the Chiron person, and at the same time deeply healing. So there is actually a great potential for like a deep intimacy and healing with Mars conjunct Chiron in Synastry. Like it can be beautiful, but it just often is very painful for these reasons that I've said. So it's an opportunity for sexual healing. Now, in a relationship that is not romantic, right? It's, we'll see it in different ways, that it could be about, working together as well. Because Mars is like not just sex, it's also like our hunting, like getting something, and like our like ability to get what we want, and that. So there can be themes in this relationship around just like conquering life and being more effective. The Chiron person's healing abilities can really be activated by this. Or it can just be a very triggering, painful union. So you want to look at this one with care and caution, and see, the rest of the synastry as well, because this mixed with like a whole bunch of hard like Mars Saturn or Mars Pluto or stuff like that, it could be really painful. But this mixed with like some nice Venus stuff or Jupiter or Moon or stuff like that can be just beautiful and so healing. So I'd love to know your experience of this one in Synastry in the comments. Let me know, you guys. Thank you for your requests and keep them coming. Talk soon. Bye.